You know, we've all done it. Stared up at a clear night sky and wondered, who else is out there? Science fiction has totally primed us for this, right? We imagine everything from wise teachers to, hostile invaders. But what if the scariest possibility isn't who we might find, but the fact that we might find absolutely no one at all? What if the truth is just profound, absolute silence? That's the heavy question we're diving into.
I mean, just let that quote sink in. It really sets a chilling tone for this whole thing. It suggests that all the hope we project onto the stars, this beautiful, glittering promise of cosmic neighbors, might just be an illusion we've created to feel less alone. And that really gets us to the core of the problem, this huge paradox we're faced with. Because on one hand, you have the just mind-boggling scale of the universe, and on the other hand, you have this incredibly unnerving, deafening silence.
Okay, let's just try to wrap our heads around this number. That's 2 trillion. That's the best guess for how many galaxies are in the observable universe. Not stars, not planets, entire galaxies, each with billions of stars of their own. With numbers like that, the potential for life feels like a mathematical certainty, doesn't it? It feels like a sure bet.
It's so true. Our culture is just saturated with stories about first contact. We've played out every single scenario in books and movies, from war to peace to everything in between. But the one scenario we almost never talk about, the one we haven't prepared for, is the one we're actually living through right now. A universe that just isn't talking back.
Well, this massive contradiction actually has a name. It's called the Fermi Paradox, and it's this fundamental puzzle that has been bugging astronomers and thinkers for decades. All the math says the universe should be buzzing with civilizations, but when we point our telescopes out there, we hear nothing.
And it all boils down to this one simple, totally haunting question that the physicist Enrico Fermi supposedly asked over lunch one day. Where is everybody? It's a question that just gets heavier, more profound with every single year that we keep searching and find nothing. Seriously, where are they?
So, how do we even begin to answer Fermi's question? Well, there are a lot of potential explanations out there, and what's really interesting is that most of them, they share one thing in common. They try to explain the silence without giving up on the idea that we're not alone.
And some of these theories are just wild. You've got the Great Filter, which is this idea that there's some huge challenge that stops civilizations from going interstellar. Or there's the super chilling dark forest theory, where everybody stays quiet out of fear of being found. Maybe we're just in a cosmic zoo, being watched like an exhibit. Or, hey, maybe advanced life just gets bored with the real world and disappears into VR.
But do you see the common thread? Every single one of these theories, as different as they all hang on to this one crucial and frankly comforting idea that someone else is out there. They're just hiding, or they're quiet, or they're watching. They explain the silence, but they let us off the hook from having to face true cosmic solitude.
But what happens if we let go of that assumption? What if the simplest answer for why it's so quiet is also the most terrifying one? And that brings us to what you might call the lonely hypothesis.
This is the rare Earth hypothesis, and it basically argues that a planet like Earth isn't just a nice place to live, it's an almost impossible cosmic lottery winner. It suggests that the jump from, say, simple microbes to complex, intelligent beings like us is so fantastically unlikely that maybe it only happened once, right here.
And this slide just illustrates why. It's not just about being in the right place near a star. You need a huge moon to keep your seasons stable. You need active plate tectonics to act like a planetary thermostat. You need a strong magnetic field to protect you from your own sun. You need a giant neighbor like Jupiter to act as a cosmic bodyguard deflecting asteroids. And that's just the start. The list of just right conditions just goes on and on. You change any one of those things, and we're probably not having this conversation.
This analogy just perfectly captures the feeling, doesn't it? The sheer loneliness of the rare Earth hypothesis. All that potential, all those worlds, all that cosmic real estate, and we might be the only ones here to witness any of it, the only ones who can turn a page.
So let's really sit with that for a second. What does it actually mean if we're alone? Because this isn't just some philosophical coffee shop question. The consequences of this kind of solitude, they carry a huge practical weight.
Now, this might sound a little backward, but hear me out. A hostile alien invasion, as terrifying as that would be, it would at least prove we're significant, right? We'd be important enough to be noticed, to be a threat. But absolute solitude? That suggests the universe is completely indifferent to us.
our entire history, all our art, our science. It's just this fleeting performance with no one else in the audience. It means we're not part of some grand cosmic story, we're just an accident.
And the practical dangers that come with that are just staggering. Think about it. There are no wise, older civilizations to warn us about the big threats we might face. There's no galactic history book to learn from, no archive of cosmic mistakes. If that great filter is a real thing that's still ahead of us, we have to face it completely alone, flying blind. And the stakes couldn't be higher. One wrong move, and consciousness, as far as we know, could be extinguished from the universe, forever.
So if we are it, if we're the only ones, then the entire burden of creating and preserving any kind of meaning in the universe falls squarely on our shoulders. It is a crushing, almost unbearable weight of responsibility.
But, and this is the final critical turn, what if we've been looking at this all wrong? We can choose to see this not as an existential curse, but as the most profound call to action imaginable. Maybe the silence of the universe isn't an absence of a message. Maybe this silence is the message.
All of a sudden, everything we do takes on a cosmic level of importance. Because if life is this unbelievably rare, then every act to protect it, to nurture it, and to preserve it becomes maybe the single most important task in the entire universe.
And that means our responsibilities become crystal clear. It's on us to protect our home planet, this incredible biosphere, life's only known outpost. It's on us to expand beyond it, not for glory, but as an insurance policy for awareness itself. It's on us to make sure this tiny flicker of consciousness can survive its fragile, biological beginning.
And that's the ultimate shift in thinking, isn't it? Maybe the greatest dignity we can find is in realizing we aren't just waiting in the wings for the main characters to show up. In a silent universe, we have to be the protagonists. We're the authors. We are the story. And so that leaves us with this one last urgent question. The answer isn't out there in the stars somewhere. It's right here, with us, and everything we do. The silence of the universe offers no guarantees. It just hands us the torch and the terrifying, magnificent responsibility not to let it drop.